The devil is busy, y'all. Like, really busy, man. They say over 40 people have been killed in the Bronx in the last week. How do we just no longer value lives? How do we not see somebody's life as valuable? How are possessions and money worth more to us than somebody's life? Something is wrong. Something is really wrong. And it's time for us as men, especially as men in our communities, to step up. These young boys are killing each other over nothing. You know, R.I.P. to Junior, man. Every time I watch that video, I just think, like, damn, if that was my son, I don't even know how to react to that. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would react. But I understand what plagues our communities. Poverty is violence. When you look at the communities these kids are from, they're surrounded by violence. They're surrounded by poverty. They're surrounded by a culture that glorifies negativity. And when you do something positive, they act like you some lame. You know, I got people that come on my motherfucking page and tell me that nobody want to hear my corny freestyles because I'm talking about real shit and about us building together and us not killing each other. Nobody want to hear your corny freestyles. But you want to hear somebody telling you that they're going to kill 1 million people or somebody die, and then when they end up dying, we put an R.I.P. sign up, man. Shout out to the brother, man, Skylar Rock Jr., man. Seen him out there talking the realest shit about what's going on in our communities. You know, Ruben Diaz is my boy. I mean, you know, we've had a lot of conversations, you know, and I've sat down with them. And the reality of the situation is you cannot change these kids' mind state if you don't change their reality. If you don't give them something to funnel energy into, if you don't show them something different, if you don't show them that they're able to amass wealth and success another way, if you don't give them opportunities, you don't give them outlets, then only thing you do is foster the violence. You foster the negativity. Just like in this hip-hop community. They don't want to promote positivity until it becomes trendy. Until it becomes trendy. You know, when you've been saying, and when we've been on the front lines fighting for this shit, you know, they grab one trend and say, oh, it's cool to say this now. Nah. The reality is our kids need to be reprogrammed. They need to be shown something different. And we got to be that change. As men in our communities, as men, credible messengers, as men of a certain stature, of a certain intellect, of a certain understanding, who know better, who've been through the ills and spills, we can't allow our kids to keep going down the wrong path. Junior is gone. The other 5 kids are going to probably spend their life in prison. So who really wins? Where's the justice in that? And they all look like us. They all come from exactly where we come from. So what are they doing to prevent? Because we know y'all gonna come in there and lock us up. We know y'all gonna come in there and lock us up. We gonna kill each other. What are you doing to prevent these things? Where's the preventative measures? Where are the opportunities that you prevent for these kids? Where you show them, yo, listen, where are the tech classes where these kids can go there and learn how to do programming? Because, you know, the Asians and everybody else is getting millions and billions of dollars. Where y'all showing them that that's how they can get out the hood? Where y'all presenting that opportunity for them? Even just like Skylar Rock Jr. said, where you get these programs in these community centers where they can go and just go somewhere to vent and let off energy instead of being on a corner where it's nothing but negativity. Most of these kids don't have nothing. They're coming from places with nothing. Like you said, you could barely pay rent. The mother's out there working 9 to 5 or she on welfare and don't even know nothing else, and they don't want to live that life, so they out in the street trying to figure out something else. So who's in our community going to show them something else? Who's going to take the time to say, yo, listen, this is a better route for you. You ain't got to be out here doing this and killing each other. Like, where does it change? When we going to stop glorifying bullshit that you put on the internet? When we going to stop making it cool that you had sex with a girl and you posted on the internet. When we gonna stop saying shit like that is cool? Because it gotta be redefined a new fucking cool. That shit ain't cool. When as men we gonna step up and start doing that? That's what's wrong. There's an absence of manhood in our communities, King. There's an absence of men stepping up, grabbing these little niggas by the ear like, yo, what you doing? Man, you better take your ass to school. You know, so there's an absence of that. There's an absence. We cannot give up on our kids, man. We can't give up on our kids. And as I sit here and I think, you know, I have to retrain my mind to that, because I get to a point where I watch these kids and I see shit going on. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fall back. But we can't fall back. We can't fall back because we failing these kids. We failing them. We are failing our kids. We failing our communities. They killing each other and they dying because somebody told them that shit was cool. Somebody told these kids that the shit that they doing is cool, that you get some stripes and you get some props and you quote unquote a real nigga if you out there and you busting your gun and you killing random people and you got a body, and that's we were taught wrong. So how can we keep allowing these kids to be taught wrong when we know better? We know better, man. We know way better than this shit. Ain't nothing tough about that. Ain't nothing real about it. You know, when did we start taping people dying instead of picking them up and carrying them somewhere? When we gonna start celebrating that? You know, look at this same person. Look, you see this kid Geechee 122? This is what you call a clown. See what I mean? A clown. These are the type of people that are in our community that influence our kids. Or they the kids that's trying to influence the negativity on the rest of the kids. But these are the type of niggas right here. These is the DJ Academics niggas that want to promote and say, oh yeah, he bust his gun and he gonna shoot somebody. And we're gonna see how this end up. This is what's influencing our kids. This is why these kids is fucked up. Because these people want to negatively impact our kids. Like, we gotta start standing up, man. I'm getting back. I'm out of town right now. I swear to God, I wish I was inside the Bronx right now. I'm going to all of these communities. I'm gonna meet my brother Skylar Rock Jr. I'm gonna meet him on his community. We not gonna talk. First, what we gonna do is start interior. We gonna start raising kings. We are raising kings. We going to these corners with the kings. I want to pull out the niggas that's gangster. I want to talk to you man to man and look you in your face. The niggas you respect on your block, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to sit down with you and have a man to man and say, okay, this is your block. How you raising these kings? How you gonna prevent them from going to jail or dying out here? You the nigga, you the big homie here. I'm not here to fight you, beloved. I respect your position, but I want to know what you gonna do with that position. You gonna sell drugs and poison your community and not even build the kids up to be better than you was? Or you gonna teach these kids something different than you learned? Because some of us already set in our path and I can't change you. But if you have a level of influence over these children and you're not using it for them to be better than you are, then you fail in the community. Those are the conversations I want to have. I'll talk to the government after we build our shit up. When we come to them and say, look, we got 100 of the most powerful street dudes in this world that's willing to build and make these kids into the kings they want to. Now we need you to invest in us to make sure that they don't have to go through the shit we went through. That's when they're going to respect us. When we start putting our power and our money together and make them invest, because they got money to invest, but we ain't got nobody for them to give it to. When we come to these block as leaders, we come to them as leaders and say, look, we ready to lead. We taking the lead, and we going to make sure these kids, you're going to build some community centers here. You're going to give programs here where they can have a different ideology on what success look like. That's when we going to start winning. You know, that's when we going to start with. Other than that, we just talking. We just bullshitting. And that's what I plan to do. I'm going to all these communities. I'm going to Castle Hill. I'm going to Webster Projects. I'm going to Edenwald. I'm going everywhere in the Bronx because that's where I'm from. I'm going to start with the Bronx. We touring the Bronx. We going to the blocks. We building with the big homies, the little homies. We redefining what real is. Because there's a false representation of what real is. The shit that they glorifying, the people they glorifying, ain't even worth glorifying. But nobody told them that. Nobody told them that shit ain't worth glorifying. So they keep glorifying it. Nobody told them that shit ain't, and they don't find out until they're in a cell by themselves doing 100 years. Them 5 boys is going to be sitting in a motherfucking jail for the rest of their life. Probably having to fight and probably die or get killed in because because their case is so publicized. You're going to have people that want to test them or do shit to them. You're going to have people's family that's in there. Oh, that was my cousin. These kids are going to be, these is kids. I get it. They did some bullshit. There has to be consequences, but we got to start doing preventative measures. Not consequences. I don't want to deal with consequences. The police and the law deal with the consequences. My job is to prevent our kids from dying and going to jail. As a man who understands what the pitfalls of life. And that's what all of us should be thinking. Grab you a little young nigga that got some mentality. If you strong, if you some type of body in your hood, grab you a little young nigga that's on the way up and put all of the necessary knowledge and intelligence and understanding and wisdom in him that you have so that he can lead these kids in a better direction. That's what it's going to take for us to win. We got to retrain the mind states. We got to redefine what cool and real is. If we don't, we lost. I'm not never sitting down with academics. Academics has made a conscious decision that he is going to profit off the demise of our culture. Everybody has sat down with him. Joe Budden's left, Starr left. I've seen people go up there, threaten him, explain to him what he's doing. He don't give a fuck. I deal with ignorance, but not stupidity. Ignorance means you don't know. I can deal with you when you don't know. And you choose, and you want to know, you just don't know better. When you make a conscious decision that you want to do some bullshit, then I don't even want to build with you. I don't want to build with that. I don't want to build with nobody that is knowingly leading these kids astray, watching them die, and profiting off of it and not trying to change. I don't want to do that. That's not real to me. I don't want to live my voice, my platform. Nah, I've watched numerous times where that man sat up there to sit down and have a conversation with him. And he just pushed it to the side. I'm not doing that. Y'all waste your time. I don't waste my energy on that. That's a grown man set in his ways. I'm worried about the kids that don't know better. I'm worried about building with the other men who understand where we are at this time and how drastic it is and how serious it is. I'm worried about those niggas, building with them. I don't want to waste my time building with clowns. No, that's not what I'm going to do with my life. So y'all keep saying, if you call it hate, cool. You want to pay attention to that. You just keep watching these kids get killed and him, amp them up, talking about, yo, this one is tough. Oh, you know how the Chirac niggas do. They going to shoot. And he said this. We're going to see how this plays out. Yeah, because he amping it up. Every time one of those dudes watch a new video that he said, oh, yo, you think they tough? I'm going to show you I'm tougher. And y'all keep falling for it. I get it. Shit is entertaining to you. It's all cool until somebody dead or somebody in jail. I don't subscribe to that. That's not who I am. That's not the type of man I was brought up to be. I was raised different. So if that's what you into, cool. If I'm hating because I'm not that, cool. I'm all right with it. Ain't no nonprofits putting nothing in my pocket, King. I live on my own dime. I work for the people. People support me. Ain't no nonprofits. I don't even have a nonprofit. But I'm about to start one. And it's going to be doing real work. It's going to be doing real work in our communities. It ain't the paper shit that niggas is doing. So the reality is, next week, man, I'm gonna post it up to everybody. Build with some of the people I already know. Hit you up. We going on a tour of the Bronx. We going to the projects, to the areas where the murders are happening. And I want to sit down. I want to build in the community with the community. I want to talk to these kids. I want to talk to the parents. We got to have real conversations. We got to build and we got to take away. We got to have something to take away from this building. Not just talking. When we leave here, this is what we're going to put into activity. Then we're going to go to these people who control this money in this area and say, look, these are the programs we need in these communities. We need community centers in these communities. We need opportunities for these kids. You know, that's what we can do. When we come collectively like that, now we have something. But right now what's happening is an atrocity, man. It's atrocity. We are dying. These kids are dying. Every day somebody's getting shot over bullshit. Like, why is it so easy for us to kill us? That's what we got to talk. We got to talk. Why is it so easy for us to kill us? Why are we so easily to kill us over nothing? Because we've been trained that way. We've been programmed that shit is some type of badge of honor. To harm somebody that look like you going through the same situation you go through. We've been taught that makes you somebody. Look, listen to me. I don't blame all rappers. You know, I believe there has to be a balance. Some rappers talk about drugs and guns. It's entertainment. Some people are entertained by it, and it's cool. I like a lot of rappers that talk about street shit because I'm able to discern the information and understand the reality and the difference between entertainment and reality. Everybody is not able to do that. So what we got to do is balance. You got to give them a balance. There's no balance no more. It's just overly saturated with bullshit. No, it's just overly saturated with negativity and glorification of something that's negative. So with that said, man, I'm saying, man, guard your mind. Guard your soul. Kings. Let's start raising these young kings. Grab you a young king right now from somewhere and build with him. Build with him. Give him a different perspective. Give him a different opportunity. Show them something different. Tell them the truth about what these streets is. Tell them once you kill somebody, your life is gone. That man, you can't give his life back. And 9 out of 10 times, you're going to do the rest of your life in prison for that. Let's have a real conversation. Let's build with these kings. Let's change the reality. Let's change what cool is to these kids. When a nigga come on my page and tell me my freestyle is corny, you understand that there are people who are lost. I ain't never said nothing that wasn't real, ever. I ain't never told you nothing that wasn't the facts. I ain't never put nothing in a freestyle in nothing that wasn't 100% true. That you can go and look up and find out it's a fact. So if a nigga tell you that that's corny, you understand the mindset that he dealing with. You understand how he's been taught. You understand what he's been trained to believe is real. Listen to me. Academics has got more than just XXX kill. He's promoted the negativity that X was putting out there. That's why I put up the video that Joe Budden said. He said, stop promoting this bullshit. Because when it get real, you can't report it. Or you're not even going to want to report it because you're not built like that. Stop promoting it. Y'all don't see the reality of what's going on in these streets, man. These niggas is leading you astray. Yo, listen to me. Free will in our society is a joke. I just want you to understand that you're being programmed every second of the fucking day. You turn on the TV, they show you a soda that the colors are intriguing you. The colors make you say, damn, I'm thirsty right now. You walk outside, you hear music that programs you to say, yo, I need money, pills, drugs, girls, money, pills, drugs, girls, money. And then you be like, yo, I got high because I wanted to, my nigga. I got the same beard that Rick Ross and them is wearing because I wanted to, my nigga. I got the same sneakers on that LeBron because I wanted to, my nigga. You know? I'm popping pills Not because every nigga around me is doing it because I wanted to, my nigga. I'm my own man. I'm my own man. Larry, I would never ignore your calls, King. I'm out of town. I'll hit you back in a minute. But you know, I did it because I wanted to. You didn't want it to. You didn't want to do nothing. You don't even know what you want to do no more. We've been programmed so much that you don't even understand what you want to do. You don't realize that you fit into the same cycle that everybody else around you is doing, and you still think that's because you want to do? Just think about it. Just really think about it. Just look around at 10 people that's close to you. Y'all all pretty much do the similar shit. Every day. Every single day. We see this happening. So I'm trying to tell you, none of this shit you doing is by your choice. Now your choice is to break outside of it. When you start going against your moral compass, when you do shit that you know morally don't fit you, because it's cool that everybody else is doing it, you're not doing what you want to do. How could you possibly be doing what you want to do? You want to get your own morals, King. When you harming somebody that look like you, your soul ain't good. You're not happy when you stabbing and beating a nigga up or robbing somebody or stealing. You ain't happy when you selling drugs to somebody's mother. You ain't happy when you swiping an account that belong to somebody that might mean that their kids don't go to college. Well, you ain't happy about that. But society taught you that's the way to get up. You following the path that's been put to you. Just understand this shit is bigger than what you think it is. So we gotta use the same tactics to retrain our minds. We gotta retrain our kids. We gotta retrain ourselves sometimes. When you watch the movie The Matrix, shit looked like a movie. I remember I was a kid, oh shit, The Matrix is dope. They had good graphics. When you understand what the people said, you plugged into The Matrix. You don't even realize it. You just see yourself moving along, and then one day you realize, yo, this shit ain't even me. I don't want to do none of this shit. I never wanted to do none of this shit. And then when you step outside of that, you corny. You a lame nigga. Nah. You're not lame. You waking up, King. And my job is to help you because I'm moving along the path. I understand what it's going to take for us to win. It's going to take true unity and understanding. Because the enemy is unified. The enemy is completely unified. The enemy is on the same path. The suckers support the suckers. Why we as real rights don't support each other? Why we don't make sure that we do everything possible to put a real one that represents us in a place, in a position of power, so that he can pull the next real one through? Why? Because we've been programmed to think about you. Me, mine. Fuck you, this and that. We got to change that, Kings. I'll be back in the Bronx on the 1st. We're going to every borough, one day at a time. I mean, every block. The hardest blocks. I want to sit down with the niggas who run the block. Meet me out there. I ain't coming out there with no beef. I ain't coming out there to intrude. I want to build with kings. I want to build with niggas who got power. I want to sit you down and look you in the eye as a man and build with you and build respect and let us figure out how we going to change our realities. How we going to stop these kids from dying. How we going to stop them from doing the jail time and the bullshit that we did. That's what I'm about.